Hello and welcome to this episode of Packet Tracer. In this episode, we want to talk about annotating a network topology. So the purpose for annotating a network topology is to add graphics and nodes on the topology for better representation and understanding of the topology. Now let's get started. The first thing that I want to do is that to change the background image for the logical workspace. Here I can do that. If I come to here, click on this icon, and I browse my computer. I have a picture here in my pictures. This is a world map. I want to apply it on my logical workspace. Now you can see that the image is applied on the logical workspace. Now I want to add some graphics on this topology. I can add a line, I can add a rectangle, ellipse, or freeform. If I click on any of these, this palette dialog will open for me, and I have the ability to choose the shape, the outline, and the fill color. The outline, I always like the red color, so I will choose the red color. And for the fill color, I have a lot of options in here. I can use these predefined colors. I can use this area to select my color, choose the shade, or enter or RGB value for my color, but I want to pick a color from the screen. Here I have picked a color from the screen, and I want to add it to the custom colors so that I can use it at a later time. I think my selection has gone wrong. Okay, now let's click OK. Now using this tool, I can draw my rectangle. As you can see here, my rectangle is drawn. And for this area, I don't want to have a fill color. I only want to have an outline. So I will select no fill, and this area will only have an outline. Now, as you can see that the analog phone, this A is not covered. So what I can do is that to close this window, resize using this tool, I can resize my rectangle and drag it from this area, the small rectangle at this area. You can see that. You can use that to resize any shape. And using my select tool, I will bring it to cover the analog phone as well. Now I want to add a few nodes on these rectangles so that we have a good understanding of what the rectangles represent. This is my office, and in here I want to add a node. This is my home. Using this node tool, I can also put some nodes for the devices. For example, I want to add the IP address for this device for my home router, 152.254.243.211 and 1. That is my home router, and that is a reference for me on my topology. That makes the topology easier to understand. We also have this inspect tool here in this area. As you can see, I have the inspect tool, and I can inspect any of my devices in my topology for different types of tables. For example, I have a routing table on the router, an IPv6 routing table, OP table, NAT table. For different devices, the inspect tool will provide different tables. For the PC, it will only provide the OP table and port status summary table. And for the multi-layer switch, there's a few other things such as MAC table that is more specific to the switch. And finally, what I can do is that to add a description of this whole topology in here, you can see that this tool is the network description tool. And if I click on it, this window will appear for me. I will add a description, my network of home and office. And I want to close it. But every time I click on this tool, this node will appear for me. And that's it for this episode, everyone. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.